Hey, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? It's God, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm on TD Jakes right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here listening to TD Jakes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm on his uh sermons on his book called Crushing, you know what I'm saying? And although, only Satan can think like TD Jakes, you know what I'm saying? Only Satan can think like TD Jakes, you know what I'm saying? And listen to him, you know what I'm saying? And you'll see what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
It is the only fruit that is raised to die. It is raised to be crushed. But if they can endure the pain of the crushing and trust the vintner, who is God our Father, to take me through this process, my latter days will be greater than my former days. And finally, I'll be more valuable and I'll be worth more, and I may get shipped abroad. And I may be served to kings and princes and set before great men only because I've been crushed.
Now, I don't give a damn about nothing you say. Your title of this TD Jakes is You Must Give Up Safety to Walk with God. You must give up safety to walk with God. You must give up safety to walk with God. That's your title, TD Jakes. You must give up safety to walk with God. Now, when would God ever tell anybody to give up safety to walk with him? You know what I'm saying?
In the Gospel of St. John, Jesus identifies who he is. And he says, I am the vine, and ye are the branches. And every branch in me that bear fruit, I purge it that it might bring forth more fruit. That's the sentence that gets me. Because it would seem like to me that if the branch was doing good, you would leave it alone. But he says, every branch in me that beareth fruit, I cut it back.
You a goddamn lie. That don't mean cut it back. That don't mean no curling. That's curling. TJ, that's curling. That's curling the tree. The vine, you know what I'm saying? That's curling. Purging is just the air breathing, you know what I'm saying? I'm the air you breathe, TD Jakes. I purges it. I purges it. I'm the air you breathe. That don't mean no purge. Let me show you what purge mean, TD Jakes. Let me show you what purge mean. Purge meaning. You know what I'm saying? Purge meaning. To rid someone or something an unwanted quality or condition or feeling. That ain't what purge mean. Remove a group of people considering undesirable from an organization or a place of abrupt or violent way. No, that ain't what purge mean, you know what I'm saying? To abrupt or violent removal of a group of people. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what purge mean. Purge just mean, purge. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? The carbon monoxide and mixed with oxygen, you know what I'm saying? The purge. God is the purge, you know what I'm saying? TD Jakes just making up stuff, you know what I'm saying? TD Jakes just full of shit, you know what I'm saying? Making up stuff, you know what I'm saying? God don't hurt nobody, and you damn sure ain't gotta give up safety to walk with God.
I cut it back not because I'm a serial killer, not because I'm out to destroy the bush, not because I hate grapes, not because I don't want it to win, but I cut it back so that it might bring forth more fruit. So we don't go through these crushings because we are not his, and we don't go through these crushings because he doesn't love us, and we don't go through these crushings because we're not fruitful. He cuts us because we are fruitful. Because as fruitful as we are, he knows the potential of what is yet down inside of us. And he knows how to get you to that potential. And he stops you from being safe. And he stops you from being satisfied. You have to give up safety if you're going to walk with God.
You're
You have to trust him
goddamn
that he is the farmer, that he knows what he's doing. And when he says that I am the vine and ye are the branches, he says, my Father is the husbandman, and the husbandman is the farmer. He's the
My Father is the husbandman, right? Yeah. The husbandman is y'all. Yeah, the farmer, you know what I'm saying? Is the husbandman. My Father is the husbandman. God is the husbandman. Yeah.
vintner. He's the one that controls the process. He knows exactly where to cut to make you more fruitful. When I was a little boy, I went out in the yard. I was trying to do like my mother who pruned the rose bushes. I decided I would help her out and go prune the rose bushes. And when she came home from work, I had almost killed the bush. I had almost killed the bush. I was a bad little boy. You can tell, can't you imagine? Just shrink me down to about 8 years old. You got trouble on your hand. I was a bad little boy. I tore the bush apart. And she was furious with me. And I said, why are you furious with me when I'm only doing what you did? She said, no, you're not doing what I did because I know where to cut. See, the vintner knows where to cut. It's not the cut alone. You can't just cut it anywhere. He knows where to cut, and he knows when to cut, and he knows how to cut to bring you to the place that you can be more fruitful, because ultimately he wants you to have enough fruit that we can become wine, that we can enter into that state of being that lasts for years and hundreds of years as wine. But if I remain, the grape I will go bad. So it is the only fruit that is raised to die. It is raised to be crushed. It is meant to be stepped on. It is meant to be bruised. If grapes could scream,
TD Jakes, you comparing grapes to Jesus, you know what I'm saying? You's a low down, that dirty, low down motherfucking devil, man. You know what I'm saying? I would have never came up with that comparison, you know what I'm saying? I would never do that, man. I would never kill God's son and then, brag about it to make money and all that there. You know what I'm saying? And call it a gospel. The death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus, you know what I'm saying, after you murdered him, you know what I'm saying, and then lifted him up as a beast instead of lifting him up in honor, in glory, and love, and all that good stuff. Talking about, just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up like a serpent instead of an innocent man going free. You know what I'm saying? I didn't send Jesus to die on no cross for no sins. I told you, when I sent the prophets the first time to get something from the harvest, they killed some and beat some. Then I sent some more, they killed some and beat some. Then I sent some more, they did the same thing. And then I said, I'm going to send my only begotten son. My only begotten son. My only begotten son. I'm going to send my only begotten son. And I know they going to worship they going to reverence my son. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing they said, this is the heir. Let us seize him and kill him. So TD Jakes, man, your crushing, you take that to hell with you, man. You take that right to hell with you. And Let me go back. Because I want to see. Let me see something.
It is the only fruit that is raised to.
We are the body of Christ. You must give up safety to walk with God. God's will is often disruptive. When is God's will disruptive? You know what I'm saying? It's man's will is disruptive. God's will ain't disruptive. Your suffering leads to your purpose. You know what I'm saying? He always trying to preach on suffering leading to purpose. Man, your suffering gonna lead to a greater purpose, TD Jakes, to rid the world of your evil ways. You know what I'm saying? God is working in your suffering. You know what I'm saying? God ain't working. God is working in your suffering, but he don't have to. You don't get no preacher like TD Jakes trying to make people suffer and then claiming it's God. You know what I'm saying? Can you trust God when he doesn't answer? What kind of question is that? Nobody is exempt from suffering. You know what I'm saying? I know it, but I ain't gonna have to crush. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to crush me, but you did. But you didn't have to crush me. You know what I'm saying? But crushing helped me become God. I know that, TD Jakes, but it ain't up to you to call that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't up to you to call that. It's up to God, and that's me.